What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 354. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm crawling myself out of a hole full of fire without him.
This week we watched Jigoku. Jigoku?
More like Bad Luck the movie.
Look, man,
am I right?
I'll take regular hell over Japanese hell all
Yeah.
day.
Dude, it was
All day.
It looked rough.
Yeah. But yeah, I found this. I don't know how y'all's YouTube recommendations go, but from time to time on mine, I've been getting these interviews with people who will be at the Criterion headquarters, and they'll talk about their influences and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll pull out movies that influence them. Well, movies that maybe they really enjoyed when they were younger and whatnot. And I just happened to stumble across the one from video game maker Hideo Kojima.
Oh, yeah.
And this was one of his picks, and he just went in and saying it was just a really good horror film and everything. And I ended up kind of looking up on the trailers for it and kind of what it was, what it was about. And I was like, for the big underlying thing, the big selling point for me was that it was, the visuals were supposed to be pretty impressive for the age, for the year it came out.
Yeah.
And so that's what kind of pulled me into that. And after seeing the trailer, I was like, there's enough outside looking in to kind of, and there's going to be some sort of entertainment derived out of it,
Right.
So yeah, that's that. At least that's how I, that's how I ended up finding this one for foreign film.
I remember seeing this would always pop up on a list. If you look up foreign films, that
It's
you
like
got
one
to
of the
check
must
out.
watch.
Yeah, it's always on that list, and it's always about like the last 35, 40 minutes of that movie is insane. It's like
I mean, they weren't wrong.
yeah, I mean, legit. It's like, but what they were doing, what they were able to do in that time period, and then like, I'm honestly surprised that they could go there
In
1960.
1960?
Yeah,
For
right.
real? Well,
Like,
foreign film.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
true. Yeah.
What about those? What about those shots of those bodies falling off that bridge?
Oh, when the one hit the rocks?
Yeah.
The girl hit the rocks and it bounced to the other side. And I was like, damn, that looks pretty real.
Yeah. But no, this has always been something that I've wanted to peep, so I'm glad that it popped up in the foreign film February here. And I gotta say, I wasn't disappointed. Like,
it's been a good month.
It has. It's been a great
Bangers.
month, Yeah, banger after banger. It was at first, whenever the movie first starts getting going, and it's like, we see that guy from last night's probably dead, boy. It's like, oh, what's happened? And you see the whole situation and everything go down, and then it's like,
well, did you guys think at first that one the Tamura? Did you guys think that he was in his head, or maybe he was like another person out? Like there was some Fight Club going on.
Well, this whole thing was playing out like his life was flashing before his eyes.
Yeah.
Just because all these moments were tying into these other moments.
Yeah.
Like he was already dead, right? He had to be.
I mean,
because he would be in the car, and then all of a sudden he's at the table, and then he's back in there with the professor, and then he's like, he's already dead, and he's like, he hadn't accepted it yet, like he's got to live lost out,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, pretty much, yeah. You light bulb, Adam. You unlocked the memory for me.
You're my sister. You're my sister.
Yeah, it's like, whoa. Okay.
I'm like, come on.
But it was a bit of a. I had a feeling it was going to be a bit of a slow burn, just because some of the Japanese stuff that I've watched before, it takes a minute, and then when it goes off the rails, it just fucking stays there.
Yeah.
And once the movie flips, you know, though I feel like it held like the hype was held up to me at least, where for 1960s, some of those visuals were pretty nuts,
I mean,
and like before, and not necessarily just for the hellscapes that get created and stuff. But there were also just some really good shots in general, like the camera work for the movie. I don't know if it was just that Criterion polish that they put on it, but it looked like a well shot movie
I don't know if we were watching the Criterion version. It didn't say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was very hard to come by.
Right.
I think it's on YouTube.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
But it's gonna look bad.
Yeah. The whole time I was watching this, I'm like, this is where Clive Barker cut his teeth.
I mean, it definitely showed its age, but you could still tell that there was some really just, you could tell the camera work was on point though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For at least for its age.
Well, I like how they would link the shots together where it would zoom into him and he's just sitting there and then it zooms back out and it's like, oh, now we're in the living room.
Yeah.
It's like the camera never cut off.
No.
You could see when there was cuts, like when he's in the car and it cuts and the other guy's there and then it cuts back.
Yeah.
You can tell it's several, different takes, but when they zoom in on him and he's just sitting there like thinking, he did a lot of pondering in this movie.
Oh, for sure.
And a lot of people were asking if he was Shiro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it pulls out and it's like, oh shit, they brought a table in. Like they zoomed in and everybody ran out and threw shit like, here's a table, here's.
Yeah.
And then it pulled back out and it was like, oh.
Yeah.
So what about how creepy some of the extra work in this movie was? Like the use of the extras and whatnot.
Oh, those guys dancing.
Oh yeah.
Was hilarious.
Well,
the guys getting drunk at the end.
The mistress.
Whoa. Well,
all of them sleeping with his dad.
Yeah.
Well, turns out not his dad. He got real Jerry Springer at the end there.
Yeah, right. It's like,
don't kiss her, she's your sister.
Yeah, it's like, oh god,
she looks just like the other girl.
Hitting too close.
Was
to home.
The other girl his sister? We'll never know.
No.
Or was it? But that's just hell fucking with him. Like you can't marry. Like you banged a chick that looks just like your sister. Gross.
But
I like the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper.
Oh yeah,
that guy. Whenever it starts and he's just like, he's like low and slow. I was like, this motherfucker's serious.
Yeah.
So he was like the damn. Well, he told him what he was when they got down there. But yeah, he was like the Grim Reaper. Because he was like, every time you come around, I feel bad. There's something. I just want to get away from you. And he's like, yeah, you want to get away from me, all right.
Good luck,
Nobody leaves hell. He was like, you can take that vortex of torment and shove it up your ass. That's what he called it, the vortex of torment, when they're all walking in circles.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what ants do before they die. Look at them.
Yeah. I like that one circle was the 6 paths of humanity.
Oh my!
Where they just walk aimlessly through darkness.
Yeah.
I'd be in there like, Marco?
Yeah.
Paulo.
Yeah. I love how whenever they went to hell, whenever they were doing the hell sequence, everything was so black. It really made the actors pop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really liked that, other than the shore. The shore was cool. But.
Well, it gave the feeling that they were really in the abyss.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's just you're in just like you're only gonna see what's like. I don't know. That's a creepy idea of hell or concepts of hell. But just the idea that you can see the landscape, but there's still just there's literal just darkness everywhere.
Yeah. It was kind of revolutionary. Like for the time and even for the subject matter and everything, it's like, why hasn't this movie been remade?
Well, like for instance, I feel like you can even see in a roundabout way, you can see its connection or influence from 1960 echoing all the way to now with how like the upside down is depicted in
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. I can see that.
There's some trivia on the movie. This was the first film to use gore effects to a significant degree.
Yeah.
And it did have some gore. That motherfucker's heart was still beating.
Yeah.
That was insane.
They flayed him alive. It's like, oh God.
And it was like,
whenever
you'll keep living this, and if you keep on, we'll fucking send you back and make you relive all the shitty stuff you did again. Like,
yeah,
those people like just being thirsty forever. I was like,
Yeah.
now that would suck.
yeah,
right.
You killed a man and took his last drop of water. I was thirsty.
So the shot where they saw the guy in half, for a split second, did you guys think they were going to saw the top of his head off?
I thought they were going to cut his head off.
yeah.
Yeah, like I thought his head was going to get, where we were going to see like, you know, brain.
They've been
out,
known to
like,
cut some heads off over there, you know?
Yeah, I for some reason, it just the way the perspective looked when I was watching, I was like, "Are they gonna go for the head?" Me and my wife were both watching, and she was like, "I think so," and then it cuts, and it's like, "Nah, good old magician sawing, you know, without
Yeah.
the box."
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, and like the first, hour of the movie, it's like this dude has just had the worst day ever.
Well, like,
And then,
yeah, for real, and it's crazy because all like just those shots of just all those motherfuckers dead at the end, like after they were drinking and
The woman poisoned them as they
Yeah.
ran the gangster over.
And it was actually a really good plot. Like the movie was pretty well written
yeah,
Those sandals
for
look
its
very
time.
uncomfortable.
Hell
Yes, they
yeah,
do.
but hey, but that gravel looked far worse.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
I didn't know the platform on them was so tall.
I'd hate
Oh
to
my
get
God.
kicked by somebody with wearing those
Yeah, for
fuckers, dude.
real,
Like,
right? Could
like
you imagine Jackie Chan kicking you in the throat with those things?
You'd hear him
you,
coming.
He had a
you get
It
kicked.
sound like a horse running at you.
clack, 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 clack,
Yeah.
clack, clack, clack.
You get cracked in the head, wake up in the hospital, and someone's like, "You still thought you were on the train tracks, Reggie."
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that someone hasn't tried to do a somewhat faithful adaptation of it, honestly. Like, I understand why they haven't already, but like the subject matter, if they didn't go too like overboard and crazy with it and kept it, because like this did go off the rails in comparison to the things that films are doing today. It's nothing really,
Well, I
But
mean, the only film I feel could hold up in an argument to that would be like the guy who did, or I think it was Lars von Trier, the house that Jack built. Like
yes,
you swap out the main character and motives, and it's essentially the same movie if you think about it.
yeah, him
But I,
reliving his shit.
but yeah, but instead of through but instead of like through a perspective of regret, because the main character felt remorse, but his buddy kind of kept nagging him on, you know.
Yeah,
Whereas in House of Jack, like he's boasting about the shit, you know.
yeah,
If you think
But
about it, it's wild because we had two movies like this coming out in the 60s, a little bit ahead of its time.
yeah.
You could see why it got buried. Probably didn't do well in the market, at the time. And then 13 years later, Holy Mountain, before its time. Like,
right. It's been a good foreign film February.
Well, I mean, the 60s and 70s, they put out.
It was the drugs, man.
Sadly, it probably was, but the thing is that like like now they're not as cutting edge, and I wouldn't necessarily say that the eras created the best films. Some of them, sure, but not. I wouldn't look at the 60s and 70s as the greatest eras in film, nor what I would any other
up
one,
there, but
for sure.
Yeah.
But that being said, though, like there was a ton of fucking weird ass movies that were made.
Yeah.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of them.
Well, it's like, you get whenever cinema starts, it was that kind of renaissance, if you will, of like cinema there. Because
What now?
yeah, well, it's that thing where it's like, oh, we can actually like tell like interesting and meaningful, heartfelt or like cautionary tales, or we can use this media for something more than telling like you know, tongue-in-cheek gangster stories
Yeah.
or, westerns or whatever. Like we can actually like go there and do what we and the 70s, 60s and 70s felt very experimental in that way. So like, what can we do? What can we get away with? And
Yeah. Well,
you
you're
get
right. I mean, it was when people really started to externally show how deep they were trying to be,
yeah.
I guess if you want to word it
Because we
that
went
way.
from Leave It to Beaver
Yeah.
to
Yes.
Jigoku.
Yeah.
We went
I
from
mean,
bottle it up to throw it against the wall, you
yeah.
know?
Show let
Like,
everybody see it. It was the drugs, man.
it was a hit of acid,
It
but
was
I
for,
can't do it.
definitely for the Holy Mountain.
Yeah.
There was some psychedelics involved.
Yeah. But this movie makes me interested in like the Japanese depiction of hell, because, different religions, different, they have different interpretations. And it's like I've never really thought about how they view hell, and their hell is pretty bad.
Yeah, I knew they had the
It's
7
pretty,
layers, but I was like, one's
yeah,
enough.
yeah, for real. Like, no, we got 7.
Take
And
that
how bad
vortex
were
and
you?
shove it. I ain't walking around here no more.
But it was good though. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to, if I ever see this in the wild,
Yeah, it's a shelf sitter for me.
yeah, it's not something that I would like,
No, no, no. Like this is like you would absolutely. This movie deserves to be collected for just the fact that there needs to be as many people
Well, there
with.
needs to be physical copies
Yeah,
yes,
because you see what they're doing now. Like,
yeah,
it's going.
right,
It's
I'm
going
thinking about
away.
selling my copy of 28 Days Later just because they're going for like $1,000 on eBay.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I think the one I have, I'm not sure, but it may be the Blockbuster box one when they put it in the, you know what I'm saying? So that's double collector.
yeah,
And it's a Blockbuster case. So I used to buy their movies if they were in good shape.
yeah, same. It's been a while, but yeah. So you can buy this on DVD, the Criterion Collection version of it for $56. No, the Criterion Collection's $16, but there's another version of it that's $56.
What's the difference? Is that Blu-ray?
No,
Is that original print pressing of it?
I can't. They're not telling me what the difference of them.
And the
But
other
they do.
name we got to mention is The Sinners of Hell.
Yeah.
Original title.
Yeah.
They had to give it a name for
Western
the.
name.
Well, yeah, it's like they're not going to want to say that.
Yeah.
War wasn't that long ago, Like,
we're going to watch Jigoku, and they're like, I don't like. Why are you fucking with Dragon Ball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it makes me think of every time I say it.
They do have it on Blu-ray.com, but it is the Japanese version of it.
It's probably
Came
on
out
PAL then.
on Amazon. It's 4,118 yen.
Like $40.
And on
know.
DVD
I don't
it's
know.
2,500.
Yeah, you can
That's
get this
not
at
meant as
Walmart
that's not meant as an insult.
for $16. Amazon too.
Yeah. So it's available. But
Well,
if I ever
I'm also sure that if you go to areas like Books a Million and Barnes and Noble, their little movie areas, that they'll tend to carry Criterion stuff too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure one can track this one down because I feel like its whole popularity is probably broader than we think.
Yeah.
Because if it's made it to that distribution company, then I know in one of the readings I was doing of it, it is considered a cult classic, obviously. And I mean, those always fare well in the market, so there's usually an abundance of them somewhere. I just think it's odd that 28 Days Later hasn't been reprinted.
I think I've got a DVD copy of it as well.
I
Are they
think it's
really selling it for $1,000?
yeah, that it's not printed. It's not. I don't even think it's on Blu-ray.
The DVD copy, like you can go on, like right here. This is 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later DVD. This is brand new. But it's the one where they're both in the same box, you know.
Yeah.
Split
$80.
Wow.
That's brand new. People are selling the old copies.
Yeah.
I think mine's in like.
And here's one for $100. Did that come out? There's no way that was on
somewhere.
VHS. It was, and it's $100. Wow. Well, you can get it on Blu-ray for $20. They only got one left. But no, they're gone. People want that original case, original copy. You know, the first release.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, you can get a VHS copy for $105. Damn.
Wow. That's wild.
Like these are copies that are just still left. This stuff's on Amazon. Like,
yeah,
it's just leftover. That's why the price is up so high.
Now, the cool thing about that is while that's unfortunate for folks buying stuff like off the internet and whatnot, if you happen to live in more rural areas, you're probably going to find them in like, you know, thrift shops.
Dude, I saw one in Goodwill the other day. I should have bought it.
For like
think about it.
50, yeah.
Because they're not going to.
To
them, it's just a DVD. Put that over there with the rest of the $3 movies.
They'll get sponged up eventually.
That's wild. But yeah, I'm gonna give the movie a full star. It was very interesting, entertaining, and I mean, it was kind of like a perfect, you know, foreign film February film. Made you think, made you feel, made you cry.
Made you wonder what you're looking at.
Yeah. We saw somebody flayed alive. The effects were great for the time. Like, really good.
All I could think was like people seeing this, like 1960, 61, and being like, I'm going to get my life together. I'm going to start going to church.
Yeah. I'm never fucking around.
Because, you know, they were scary back then. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a full star too. It's not my favorite movie by any stretch, but I get the hype. It will be on. I will have a copy of it myself one day.
Yeah. What did Dee think about it? Because I know she enjoys foreign films and all that stuff.
She enjoyed it as well. She the slow burn at first was kind of grinding away, but you know, because like I didn't know what was coming, but I knew just from the style, from the country that it came from, that there was going to be a flip. I knew there was something coming.
Yeah,
in that regard. And once it did finally do the switch, it was like she went, "Oh, okay."
Well, they showed you the ending right at the beginning. Remember they show him standing there, and there's that river.
Yeah.
Where whenever he finally figures out he's dead, and he goes back to it.
Yeah.
So as it kept getting weird, I was like, "Why is he fucking full star?" By the way, but like he's here, he's there. And I'm like, "Oh, he's already dead. We're reliving because it's all terrible moments."
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like, and he's not. Everybody's reacting different to it than him.
Yeah.
Like he's just sitting with it and being like,
Well,
fucking place, man. Why does this keep happening?
Well, there was also when you were to add to what you're saying. There's that scene too where they're all in that room. It's before they start drinking, and dude's buddy to Mira, he steps out and he goes, "Well, you've all got one thing in common. You've all been complicit in murder. Like you know, like you're a piece of shit because of this. You're a piece of shit because of
Yeah.
that. Like, and
it really did have that kind of Lost vibe. Like, because all these people are there. They're all involved in some bullshit. Like,
yeah.
You know, when he sees the girl, his wife, or the he was gonna marry, I guess. Yeah. Like she was different than everyone.
Yes.
There's like a ghost, and he was like, "Go on, touch her, kiss her."
Well, what
He's
was
like, "I'm gonna save the baby. Get out of here." And it's like, "Oh, naked baby, weird."
So speaking of save the baby, I meant to ask y'all: did y'all think the ending when you saw well, not just that, but whenever it showed the two lookalikes and it starts being real bright and all that kind of
the
stuff?
The umbrella scene?
Yeah. Did he do it? Did he save the kid, or did they all die?
Oh man, you can't leave hell.
I think that was just their way of fucking with it.
I mean, the baby hadn't been born.
Yeah, the baby wouldn't have been there.
And if it had been born, wouldn't it have been a product of incest?
Well, they were acting like those were two different people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
because that's where I was like,
they
what
definitely.
The fuck?
I'm like, why does her sister look like her?
Yeah.
Because her dad was the professor. This other girl's dad was the painter.
Yeah,
cool painting, by the way.
Yeah.
Too bad no one got to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place he was hanging.
Yeah.
That was on fire.
But,
it was like,
see, that's where the Lost thing that you brought up, Adam. That's where that really cut the light bulb on for me, because when they're in hell, I was like, okay, he's gonna get tormented. We're gonna see it through his perspective the whole fucking movie or the whole tour or whatever. But everyone went to hell.
Yeah.
Everyone was down there, and it showed everyone get their fucking reward. They all got a presence with God, you know?
Yeah. His buddy that was driving the car, whenever, like, he's like, you can kiss her. You think you can get out of here? And then he does that little thing back into the darkness. I was like, what the fuck, man? There was a cool moment where he was talking to the dad, one of the dads, that does the close up and they've got that light on his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it pulls out, the light's not there, but when it was that close up, he's like the way that it had the shadows in his face, it was like, oh, it looks really mysterious.
Well, I've always, for some reason, I've grown to appreciate those old lighting techniques in old movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like to always signify who's good and who's bad. The bad guy's always in the shadow. Like whenever you're doing a close up or something, you know, do the whole thing where like only the face is only illuminated the most, you know, like little things like that. I've grown fond of that in old movies whenever we do watch them around on the pod.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it deserves the coveted third circle of hell real estate.
the golden state the coveted golden real estate painting of hell.
Yes. I mean, that's definitely got to be it, right?
That painting looks cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably a film aficionado that's got that little flame thing like on the cover for the Criterion cover. I guess that is the painting that dude did. But I'm sure that's an ankle piece somewhere on some dude.
An ankle?
You know, well, not an ankle, but like a calf piece. My bad. Yeah. Ankle. When I think of ankle now, I think of like little vines. That's stupid shit, you know.
From a 1960 Japanese
live, laugh, love is tattooed on their foot.
Yeah, it's like, what? But we do have a little bit of movie news here that I want to hit real quick. So Jason Blum still wants to bring back Friday the 13th with James Wan. That would be a lot of fun. So Voorhees and the Friday the 13th franchise haven't terrorized the teens of Camp Crystal Lake and the big screen for over 15 years. But producer James Blum still hopes that can change with help from James Wan. During a chat with Collider, Bloom revealed that Blumhouse Productions is still interested in reviving the Friday the 13th franchise, especially after Blumhouse officially joined forces with James Wan's Atomic Monster label. However, even though Bloom is enthusiastic about the notion of exploring Crystal Lake once again, it's still not a property that they have the rights to. This is what he had to say. Friday the 13th is what I would do. It's not a Bloomhouse project, but I'm trying to will it into being one. It's just a piece of IP I've always loved. Even though Bloomhouse doesn't have a Friday the 13th project lined up, Bloom expressed that Juan and Atomic Monster are passionate about the idea of bringing the Friday the 13th franchise back to life after its very lengthy absence from the big screen. And James Wan, Atomic Monster, are very passionate about it, and I think we would have them shepherd it for us. That would be a lot of fun. So the last time that we took a look at, right here it goes into it. Friday the 13th franchise last saw theatrical run in 2009 when the reboot hit screens, resulting in a massive opening weekend before dying a relatively quick death at the box office. The film received negative reviews from critics and a polarizing response from fans at the time of its release, as it didn't reignite interest in the brand. In the years since, a complicated legal dispute between original director Sean S. Cunningham and original writer Victor Miller further stalled the franchise. Miller was fighting to earn the rights for the franchise from Cunningham, who came up with the iconic title of the original movie and hired Miller to pen the script. The dispute ultimately came down to who owned the rights to the characters and titles, since the concept of Jason Voorhees didn't come into play until after the first film. The lawsuit came to an end in September of 2021 when the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals held up Miller's previous win, which resulted in the determination that he was an independent contractor and not an employee of Cunningham's hired to write a script. In the wake of all of this, talks of reviving the film franchise have emerged, and Peacock, in association with A24, seems to be moving full steam ahead with a prequel TV series.
I'm down for that.
I mean, if it's the prequel TV series, then it's going to be like what, Jason when he was attending the camp.
It's gonna build up to the mother being like the murderer the whole time. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna
Right.
show her losing her shit. Be
Yeah.
kind of like maybe like a Bates Motel style, but
Yeah.
you're gonna
That would,
see Voorhees. I feel like it'll probably pace out pretty quick, and then by the end of it, we'll be dealing with Jason doing murders. You know?
yeah. Are they going to cast the chick from Bates Motel to be the mother? Because she always plays crazy bitch.
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah. Yeah. It wouldn't
Well,
surprise me, you know?
here's my thing, dude. I'm picking up that James Wan Atomic Monster, dude. Like that would be. I think he would have. I think on at least just on a cinematic level.
Yeah.
Uh, I could just imagine what kind of crazy like camera shots he would be able to pull off doing Jason shit. You know.
Right. And I don't know, man, like why not work with Bloomhouse? Like, okay, it doesn't, to me it doesn't make as much sense to work with A24 on a horror project like this as it would be to work with like Bloomhouse or even Shudder. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's kind of weird.
To me, Shutter needs more content other than being just a big box for Robert Rodriguez's executive produced stuff. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rodriguez can make some good films, but it seems like he'll slap his name on fucking anything because there's a lot of bullshit on Shutter.
Yeah.
Well, they need some legacy content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something old.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Give
dude,
them a crack at that.
you throw Friday the 13th, like a new one, couple with the legacy films and everything, whatever streaming service that franchise ends up on, with the new shit, if that, you know, this takes off and whatnot, subscribers are gonna, you know, they're gonna get a subscription peak, you know, or a spike at least.
Right.
And they gotta have at least one set of tits.
Yeah.
At least one. Them's the rules. I don't write them.
I saw, speaking of Jason, I saw a funny post on X earlier today where they were like, "This is the year that hockey gets banned in Jason X."
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It shows the scene where the androids explain it. It's like they outlawed hockey in 2024.
Yeah. Here's the question though. Would you like to see them do the legacy sequel kind of route that Halloween went with Friday the 13th? Because, you know, there's a lot of Friday the 13th content that they could just like pretend like it doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
I think they should do a fresh start, man. I think enough time has passed, and I think just a faithful recreation of the original film would be. I think it would be just enough for fans. Maybe throw a little twists and turns in there to freshen it up, but I think a faithful retelling and just go straight reboot.
Yeah, which I mean
would work.
What were your guys' thoughts on the what was it, 2009?
I think it was kind of sadly with the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot for me. Like they weren't terrible, but they were forgettable.
Yeah.
And it sucks because and I know I'm not trying to necessarily steer it into Elm Street, but Jackie Earle Haley was a great Freddy Krueger. But it was the writing of the film that was such shit, you know?
Right.
I didn't see the 2009 one.
It wasn't bad, but they took a different approach with it. And I think that that's what turned a lot of people off, was the fact that like the writers and the director felt a need to explain why and how Jason can navigate and be in so many places at one time. And because that was the one big criticism that I always heard, was like, well, because there was like mine shafts under Camp Crystal Lake, and he was using the mine shafts to move from place to place, and people's like, but that's the thing, you don't know if Jason's like, you know, it's kind of like Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Is there
a paranormal thing going on here?
Yeah. And then with Jason, like him dying every movie, they bring him back. Lightning strikes the grave, brings him back. Like there was always a hint of paranormal nonsense to it, especially once you get into like Jason Goes to Hell and stuff, you know, whenever it gets real weird. Yeah. There's always been this like paranormal side, but like,
well, it's just kind of like it's one of the common denominators that the now classic horror films have, like Freddy Krueger, or the classic slasher guys.
Yeah,
there's 12 of them,
and it's that they're, you know, there's that whole supernatural element to it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Bloom and James Wan can work something out with the rights holders now that all that legal crap is over with, and they can try to do something with it. But you know,
well, you know, it would be intense as hell if, you know, what if they honored all, like everything, all continuity up to Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
And you have it where once you, like you said, lightning strikes the ground, man. Jason comes back from fucking hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't matter, but they, like, just like in a moment where he's coming back, it's like kind of like in Freddy versus Jason, where you start seeing his body get reconstructed and everything.
Yeah.
Would you say if you do like just a remake, do we do remake, but it's still like period piece? Because kids don't fucking go to camp anymore.
That's what I was just thinking about.
You know what I mean? You've got to think about that. It's like kids don't really go to camp. Plus, cell phones, like, you know, word gets around quick when you got a fucking computer in your pocket. But if you set it like in the 70s, late 80s, 79, 80, like that's when the movie came out.
Yeah. I mean, in the spirit of keeping the movie safe, that would be the logical choice, I would think.
Yeah. And like do like a straight up reboot.
But I mean, one could argue too, though, that you could
even make it look better because
Well, if you set it in modern day, you could still do the camp thing, but not in the traditional sense. You would have to have it be like it would be like a retreat, like some some Zen. Have it to where it's like some Zen shit,
like
a
bunch of hippies.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like or if you wanted to go,
I wouldn't be mad at that.
If you wanted to go a little sacrilegious with it too, you could also have it where it's like it's a youth group, like a church trip.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, man. For me personally, if they just had it take place in the 80s and have got that nostalgia grab, like I think I would enjoy that more if they're going to reboot the property. I think that would be fun and interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like we're in the woods and our cell phones don't work. Like
camp doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Well, see, the thing that would be cool with a modern franchise of Friday the 13th is that you could do time jumps. Movie 1, play it safe, establish Jason as a character. Then you can bring him into modern day, and then you can come in with ways
you go 10 years later, 1990.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then you can go so far as to eventually have a film that takes place in modern day. But here's the thing. Yeah, they got cell phones and cameras, but you know what? Don't fucking matter because the motherfucker's dead. Like, and that's when the supernatural thing can get ramped up heavy. Like you could almost remake all of the movies in a way. Like Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
You could have it where kind of like almost a similarity to Texas Chainsaw where Leatherface gets on the bus and all those people pull their phones out. Don't make a fuck. They all got the chainsaw, dude.
Right. But yeah, hopefully they'll be able to work something out in the future. I'm interested in this Peacock series to kind of see what the prequel series is going to look like and how
well, if A24 is footing the bill, I mean,
yeah, oh yeah,
I mean,
we ain't got
Peacock,
nothing to worry about.
you know.
Yeah, right. So, but we'll see how that plays out overall. Next up here, I wanted to hit on this real quick. The Bike Riders gets a new trailer and release date from Austin Butler and Tom Hardy film.
Got the trailer for later.
So it's going to be dropping into theaters, and this is really just what I was wanting to hit on. June the 21st, 2024. We're delighted to add such a riveting project to next year's strong slate of films. We look forward to once again working alongside New Regency and reuniting with the multi-talented Jeff Nichols on another one of his visionary projects. New Regency Chair CEO Yarev Milshin added, "We are excited to team up again with our Focus Features partners and look forward to another successful collaboration. And we couldn't be prouder of the Bike Riders, Jeff Nichols, and all the talent he has brought together to create this truly exceptional film." So thank goodness, because I was afraid that they were going to shelve it. You know what I mean? With everything that was happening.
That way.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see this. And it will be coming out on June the 21st.
They're shelving a lot of shit.
Dude, we're going to get to that in a minute.
I see it.
I'm already upset.
They're
calling
for people to leak it. Like the internet's been like, whoever fucking works there, because the movie's done. We'll get to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So have y'all seen the picture of Skarsgård as the Crow?
I sent it to y'all in a text the other day, and I said, really? Short hair?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this look.
It looks like ICP, dude. Or no, not ICP. It looks like that dude from one of the dudes from Twisted.
Well, people are comparing him to the Jared Leto Joker.
And I mean, I feel like my comparisons were worse. like are more
Yeah.
are a harder punch. But yeah, I mean, I see what I saw the whole mom's gonna freak, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um, the director behind the original Crow, Alex Proyas, has also since taken to social media to share his reaction, saying Eric Draven's having a bad hair day. Next reboot, thanks. Despite the criticisms being made following the first look, there are many who have faith that Skarsgård will deliver in the comic book movie role, known for the likes of It, John Wick Chapter 4, Hemlock Grove, Castle Rock, and more. Many have stepped in to defend the actor and cannot wait to see what he does as the Crow. Now, I mean, whenever I saw it, I was like, okay, this is an interesting portrayal of Eric Draven, right? Um, but
That ain't the Crow, man.
I'm nobody's gonna be Brandon Lee. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, man. I'm holding.
Oh, he's
I'm
gonna do a
holding
fantastic
criticism.
job.
but yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
We all
here's
know
my
that.
thing. Whether it looks like shit or not, Bill Skarsgård is a good enough actor that's going to
He
be
is,
good.
but why they gotta change the
And
look?
I think a lot of people can still argue too that even though Leto's version of Joker looked like shit and was shit in Suicide Squad because of
He
Warner
was
Brothers
redeemed later
meddling,
on.
he was redeemed in like a 2-minute scene
Yeah.
at the end of a 4-hour movie,
yeah,
which
But dude, we all
I
grew up
mean,
with the Crow. Trench coat, black
yeah.
clothes, long hair, wet most of the time, white face.
He
You know what I
was
mean?
wet most
here's
of
my
the
thing.
time.
There's a
If
look
it
to it.
if it cuts to him and he's on the rooftop and he's playing Polyphia on guitar, I'm cutting this motherfucker off.
I mean, dude, you look at that photo, we got receding hairline Crow. Like,
Yeah,
look at it.
yeah. But I mean, this is the first shot. Who knows? Maybe like
The photo don't
this.
even look real, really.
Yeah, and who knows? This could be a flashback for or something like that. Who knows? This
These
could be just a.
tattoos.
I
If
mean,
it
dude,
is,
if he's putting this jacket on and he starts like playing some goat
Well,
horse
put a
shit
shirt
with his
on.
band,
It'll help.
then I'll shut up. But I don't
yeah,
think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna come
no.
out and be like Nickelback,
No, it's gonna be
but
like
goth.
crush 'em, Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, it's
Crush
gonna be
'em.
the unfavorable Megadeth.
He's like, stand up and shout.
Mm.
Oh God. But this might be just to test
Yeah.
because think about it. The Crow has been in development hell for like 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's with we've covered the supposed rebooting of this film for years.
Yeah. So what if this was a leak just to see, what the fans think about this look? Because this could be just like we're gonna draw the tattoos on, we're gonna put the makeup, and we're gonna give him a coat and have him stand in a closet with a bunch of wires hanging around just to see what people think about it. And if people don't like it and they want the long hair,
Well,
then we'll put a wig on him.
well, here's the thing you could do. You could already fix this. Like, he's looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
You could say, well, that's just how he sees himself.
Yeah.
He don't really look like that.
Right.
You could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because he is looking in the mirror.
And it looks like the sides and the back of his head shaved.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah,
He's got
it
a
looks
skull.
like
Oh yeah, he does have the.
yeah,
got the
it looks
Tom
like
Hardy.
the Peaky Blinders
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oi.
Like that. Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? But I don't hate it. Here's the thing. Skarsgård makes sense to play the Crow, in my opinion. I think he's going to do a good job. I don't want to judge it too harshly.
Oh, he'll kill
I
it.
just want the movie to come out at this point. Whether it's good or bad, I just want it to release, That's where I'm at with it. So let's get on to some disturbing news here. Coyote versus Acme will be deleted. Will Forte sends out statement. I saw it and it's incredible. So Will Forte, who stars in the shelved and likely to be deleted live action / animated hybrid Coyote versus Acme, is speaking out for the first time since the film was used as a tax write-off by Warner Brothers, and he's telling fans via his social media that he sadly thinks no one will ever get to see the finished product. Forte took to his X page and left a series of messages in one post to the fans, and it sounds like he's just as heartbroken as everyone has been that Warner Brothers decided to kill the film back in November. This is what he said: "To the cast and crew of Coyote vs. Acme, I know that a lot of you haven't gotten a chance to see our movie, and sadly, it's looking like you never will." He went on to say that he hadn't seen the film when he found out that it had been deleted, something which is sure to come as a huge disappointment to many, and continued, "When I first heard that our movie was getting, quote, deleted, I hadn't seen it yet, so I was thinking that everyone else must have been thinking. I was thinking what everyone else must have been thinking. This thing must be a hunk of junk. But then I saw it, and it's incredible." The news of Coyote vs. Acme being shelved sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Despite a positive reception from all those who worked on it and very positive test scores, monetary reasons took center stage when the decision was made by the studio to kill the film for a $30 million tax write-off. The project became the third already shot film to be given this treatment after previously engaging in the same practice for a nearly completed Batgirl and Scoob holiday haunt in August of 2022.
Weren't those Zaslav decisions?
Possibly.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if he was over Warner Brothers Discovery or if he was over Disney for a minute there.
He's over Warner Brothers.
I know both companies had a new person for a minute there.
Yeah. So the Coyote vs. Acme has apparently become the latest victim of tax write-offs for Warner Brothers, who seem to be following the 2022 playbook of canceling and shelving mostly completed films. It seems even more egregious considering Coyote vs. Acme was quite literally finished and had successful preview screenings, not to mention John Cena and Will Forte and the now Oscar-nominated writer of May December. Warner Brothers canceled the film in early November before reversing course and shopping it around to other studios, which expressed interest but didn't meet Warner Brothers' cost of the film's budget, roughly $70 million. One actor from the movie, Stephen Ray Bird, is not letting it disappear without a fight. He has started a petition and a trending hashtag release Coyote vs. Acme, hoping to increase awareness of the film's plot and generate enough interest to further the dialogue. You can join Bird and the other voices calling for the film's release by signing the petition. The future of Coyote vs. Acme became even more confusing on March the 3rd when someone anonymously released a genuinely meticulous plot leak of the film. It detailed Will Forte and John Cena's characters, the lawsuit at the center of the film, where Tweety, Foghorn Leghorn, Elmer Fudd, and other characters fit in, the allegorical Project Sisyphus at the heart of the film, and basically all the major story beats. But how real is that leak? Bird spoke with MovieWeb the day after the leak. "I did read it," explained Bird. "So personally, I will not share leaks. I won't post it on my things, but I can read it. I was really curious. I basically look for the scenes that I took part in, and I wanted to see if they were accurate. Let's be honest, sometimes people post things for clicks. Is it a real leak? The scenes that I were in, I'd say they were accurate from what I saw." He also added, "So I'd say the leak is accurate. Anybody posting that, they definitely need to put spoilers. I know the movie isn't released and we don't know if it's ever going to be, but if you don't want to know what happens, like say the movie does get released, then it kind of messes the whole thing up by reading the leak. But it misses a lot too. It's an outline. There's a lot of cool stuff that the leak says nothing about, but it does give the story. It tells you how amazing the story is. There were people saying they were going to leak the movie, and that is a dangerous thing. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. It's really dangerous. I'd stay away from stuff like that. I get it. These are passionate people," continued Bird. "Just be careful with leaks. That's all I can say." The concept of this movie sounds amazing.
I just figured it was him suing them because all the shit that he bought
Yeah,
to catch the Roadrunner never fucking worked.
Yeah,
so it
makes
sense there'd be a
premise.
lawsuit. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Dude, Will Forte said, actually, I saw his post on X because it started going viral. And it was a lot longer than what they included in here. And I read it in his voice, you know, he was like, it's not that I agree with it. He's like, I fucking hate it. But
yeah. Dude.
You remember the interview?
The interview.
James Franco, they're peanut butter and fucking jealous.
Oh, yeah.
They were going to shelve that movie and not release it because North Korea was pissed.
Oh, yeah. And then they dropped it on Netflix.
Someone leaked it. No, it got leaked. Yeah. So they just went ahead and put it out.
I mean, there you go.
Now, look, I get what's going on. I mean, some bad decisions were made. I mean, they're making a Superman movie right now. Lots going on. You gotta, they gotta squeeze some pennies somewhere. Fucking the streaming service ain't working out. A lot of bad decisions were made.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to clean it up.
Yep.
But
Disney's doing the same. It's
but it's so wild though, because you could slap Looney Tunes on anything, and that is a sure sell for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Grown-ups and kids.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Roadrunner Coyote was my favorite.
I loved it.
You know what I mean? Like, that was, of all the characters, other than Foghorn and Leghorn, you know what I mean? And of course, Bugs. Yeah. My favorite by far. Because, dude, it's silent. It's just this dude wants this Roadrunner, and he can't fucking catch it. Yeah. And he orders shit from fucking Looney Tunes Amazon over here, Acme, and none of the shit works. He's fucking running into walls. The Roadrunner's running through a tunnel he painted on the wall. It makes no fucking sense. It's great.
Yeah, he's Tom and Jerry. Signs.
Yeah. Tom and Jerry was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. Yep. This is a fucking genius idea, dude. I want to see this movie. Yes, I want to see it so bad, man. I mean, they did the Chip and Dale.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, remember when they canned the Batgirl movie and we were like, well, fuck, that movie was probably terrible. Yeah. And there was a lot of people that like, this is an outrage. Well, now they hit us with one.
Yep.
They're like, it's your turn now.
But here's the thing. The movie's not going to be deleted.
I was going to get to that too. Like, there's no way. There is no way they're going to just wipe that movie.
Well, in order to write it off, they're not going to be able to release it. They can't write it off and then release it.
I mean, on an official Warner Brothers level, yeah, it's gone. But I feel like it'll find its way.
Well, someone's going to have to leak it. And that was what that guy was talking about with leaks. He's like, be real careful because you could end up in jail. Yeah. Like, this would be real serious if somebody accidentally put it on a flash drive and I don't know, like left it in a McDonald's or something. Like,
yeah,
accidentally. If I'm Will Forte, I'm like, fuck it, I'm leaking this movie. I'm getting a VPN, setting up a Dropbox.
But I mean, like, it would be
one leak and it would spread like wildfire.
But I wonder what that would do on a litigation level for Warner
whenever
Brothers.
They find who does it. I mean, you saw what they did in Nintendo, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's allowed to get on a computer again.
Yeah, right. So, but no, dude, like, just release it. Put it on the streaming service. Like, you don't have to release it in theaters. Just put it on streaming.
They don't want to spend that money, that marketing money for that campaign. Plus,
I get it.
The back end money.
Yeah.
If they kill this movie, there is no back end.
Yeah. And I get it, but damn, dude,
Yeah, you didn't have anything else laying around? Let's look at that fucking folder again.
Yeah, for real.
This fucking
what
movie?
About that fucking Velma series?
Yeah, get this out of here.
We're making a
they could never cancel that.
Well,
it's got to get at least 2 seasons.
Nobody liked it.
They pull the plug.
Just saying. But last up here, and I saved this for last because we didn't really have any superhero. Everything's quiet. I saw Bob Iger came out today, and he was just like, "We got to give the Marvel fans what they want." He's like, "There's not superhero." This is the quote, not directly, but this is basically the quote. "There's not superhero fatigue. People just want to watch movies that they're excited about watching, that are well written, and have your favorite characters in them." So does he finally fucking understand that, like, maybe, this whole, like, thing that they're trying to push that a lot of people's like, yeah, we're done with that. It's superheroes. Like, I get it. There's some read between the lines things here, there, and yonder, and with the right characters, yes. But like, he's very confident that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be very profitable, and it will be. I fully agree with that. But it's also going to prove that like people just want to watch a comic book movie just to like get lost in it and kind of detach from reality and not have to like suffer with the horrors that they're dealing with in their own personal life. You know what I mean? Like, so that was really the only like comic book related news, you know. But I did want to touch on this. Mike Flanagan. So I think he recently did the Fall of the House of Usher, which has a 7.9 right now on IMDb. Heard really good stuff about it. He did Doctor Sleep. He did Gerald's Game. He's done a couple of things with Stephen King properties, but he teases a Faithful Dark Tower adaptation, shares heartbreaking scene he cannot wait to film. So he is determined to be the person who finally adapts the Dark Tower in a way that fans have demanded for decades. And his latest comments suggest a long and faithful adaptation is on the cards. Flanagan, who became widely known for Netflix series such as The Haunting at House Hill or at Hill House and The Fall of the House of Usher, has already found its feet in the world of King with adaptations of Gerald's Game, Doctor Sleep, and the upcoming The Life of Chuck. However, taking on the world's most prolific horror writer's magnum opus is no small feat. Converting or covering 8 novels, several novellas, and short stories, and drawing on elements of King's entire catalog, The Dark Tower is a sprawling horror western adventure that will take a lot of time, money, and commitment to see through to its conclusion. Flanagan recently addressed the ambitious project while speaking with Popverse, revealing which Dark Tower scene he is most looking forward to filming. In doing so, he made it clear that his intention is both to stick close to the source material and push to make it all the way to the tower. This is what he had to say. Very late in the story, there's a scene that takes place in a forest where a character is being buried. And there's a eulogy being given that made me cry the first time that I read it. That one speech just kills me, and I can't wait for that. So he's still like, he's trying to manifest it, right?
Yeah.
Because he's talked about this. We've talked about Mike Flanagan and him wanting to do the Dark Tower. He wants to do it as a series. He wants to do it right. All this kind of stuff.
I think even King gave him the blessing, right?
Yeah, King gave him. Yeah, I think he spoke with King about like his kind of outline of how he would do it, and King's like, "Fuck yeah," you know. So, I mean, I want it to happen, you know,
for sure.
But here's the real question: with the way that streaming services and everything else have kind of like there's been a little bit of a hit to the streaming platforms because there's so many different platforms. They're just putting junk on there. People are not staying subscribed, all this kind of stuff. Is right now the right time for the Dark Tower?
I don't know. It depends.
Like with the multiverse stuff that's happening in Marvel right now, is right now the right time for the Dark Tower? I mean, I would think so, but
well, theoretically, by the time that even really matters in the plot to the Dark Tower, the multiverse thing is kind of going to be tying up. Like it will still be. It'll just start to dabble in that as most of pop culture's winding out of it.
right.
And it'll still take years to get that to the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But there's some great shows on right now. Everybody's loving Shogun.
Yeah.
I'm watching that Masters of the Air.
Oh,
Great
with
show.
Elvis in it?
Yeah, dude. I'm on episode 7, dude. Love it. Been watching them weekly, and that's Apple. Dude, the budget is there. These dog fights are wild. Like, but then you realize like how many of our boys we sent over there like on suicide missions?
Yeah,
because all those planes go out and they don't all come back. That's
the meat grinder's real, dude. Like when it comes to any of those wars epics.
But it depends on what home, where it gets a home. You know, something like Apple. It's got to have budget.
Right.
Apple, Amazon. I mean, we're about to get in April Fallout.
Well, a lot of
in April.
Well, there's a lot of like, while there's a lot of spectacle stuff that happens in the Tower story, really a lot of it just talking.
It's very personal.
It's just a lot of talking, dude.
Yeah.
Well, remember that was their reason for cutting back on it before was budget.
Yeah.
Like they were having budget problems.
You could technically film The Gunslinger, just that story alone. You could film it on a shoestring budget with the right people, and it would be incredible.
Yes, I agree. And that's the question. Like, I've last year finally got around to the Dark Tower. It's 8 books, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
How many seasons for them to faithfully adapt it, Trav? How many seasons of a series? Let's say average 10 episodes per season. How many do you think that they would need to do?
However many it took.
But like, you know what I mean?
I wish I could say I'm playing it for laughs, but really, like, you would have to be able, like, there's kind of like with, you would need a pre-production on scale at least a third to 2/3 of what Peter Jackson had with Lord of the Rings.
There's your budget. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Because there's while like, because it's also going to have to be very, very like visual.
Yeah.
The landscapes that get brought up are echoes of other stories.
They sound like a shoestring
There's so
anymore.
many. The first book takes place entirely in the desert. That's why I say that. But once you branch out into those later novels and stuff, budget's it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the technology that they've used, like on the Mandalorian and stuff, I think after like listening and all that stuff, I think that they could, if they did it the right way, which would be a faithful retelling of the story, but cutting it in a different way than the novels present it. I think that they could knock it out in 4 seasons, 10 episode seasons. And I think that you don't start with the gunslinger. I think that you start the first episode with the gunslinger and it do him meeting Jake and that whole thing happening, and then go straight into the drawing of the 3. Then the other things that play out in the gunslinger be presented differently.
Well, that's also that would also very much tie into whether you want the ending twist to be what it is.
Right.
Now, it would be interesting if it was like a Breaking Bad style where the beginning and ending of the seasons are taking place during the events of the gunslinger.
Yes.
And the story is everything else. The in between episodes is everything else going on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, 4 seasons of that, I still feel like you'd have to cut a lot down. Because I think you can agree, man. A lot of the reasons why those books are so endearing, at least for me, is because you're spending so much time with those characters.
Yes.
You develop an internal nuance that each character has as you read them, like with any long story that you read.
Well, that's what I was saying. The first 5 episodes of a series needs to introduce every major character within those first 5 episodes. We need to meet Jake, we need to meet everybody in those first 5 episodes and be with those people from that point forward to build that bond, to build that to build that audience relationship with those characters so that when those things happen, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I still want Willem Dafoe to play Father Callahan.
Well, because the one thing we never got, and I was hoping so bad that we would have, because it was one of the key reasons I was so excited for Matthew McConaughey being casted as Walter. One of the scenes that I'm looking forward to most is the big confrontation and tarot reading and like the big palaver in Golgotha at the end of the Gunslinger,
Yes.
because Walter just sits down and basically goes, "You ain't shit, Roland. Here's why," and just opens his fucking third eye, dude, like Doctor
Yeah.
Strange style.
Yeah. And that would be an incredible way to end a first episode. And that way you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, but I mean,
But
with the right people and the right budget, it's definitely it would be huge if it was done right.
and I guess to add to what you're to add to what you were saying about asking whether now's the right time for it or not, I think it is, just because of the sheer amount of current King material that's out. Like the generations that are watching TV right now the most are the people who watched it, who watched the Pet
Strike while the iron's
Sematary
hot.
remake, who watched The Stand when it aired. Yeah, absolutely. And all the big takeaway references that you find in The Dark Tower are usually, those movies have been remade within the past 10 years.
Yes, agreed.
So, I mean, absolutely. The
Yeah.
only, and in retrospect, the Dark Tower movie is like the Idris Elba film. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
It's a sequel that no one is aware of.
Yeah.
Well, what's
And
cool about the Dark Tower is that it happens over and over and over again, right? I do know that.
Yeah.
You get it right, so you can tell one and it be a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
because
like,
there's thousands of ways to tell it. It's
yeah,
not going to
there
be the same every time.
definitely there is a little bit of like,
And I think it'll have some of that because you want to throw a curveball. Because
yeah,
you're sitting there, it's like you're watching Game of Thrones, you read the books. Oh, but they did that different. Oh, okay. You know, they do that. They did it with a fucking zombie show, Walking Dead. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it does. It has that what's that flair to it? It's got that everything everywhere all at once kind of going on.
Yeah.
Not like as on the nose as that story is, where there's all these versions of you, but it's definitely, you're made aware that that's kind of what's the situation. The
Right.
multiverse thing. I'll believe it. For a long time, Griffin. At least for me, for a very long time, man. I've been waiting on a faithful Dark Tower like visual like adaptation outside of like books.
Yeah.
And it ain't happened yet, man.
well,
I was there during the
it will
Ron
one
Howard
day.
years. That Ron Howard led stuff was going on as far back as when I was in high school.
That was the budget,
man.
though. That was the one where they were like, they couldn't agree on a budget. Like,
They had
what this guy pulled off was the Doctor of Sleep.
Yes.
And then everything else he's done has been great. It's like,
you remember the town of Tull in the first book?
Yeah.
They had the pre-visual for it already made and everything.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. So it's one of those things where I'm pumped. Like this article, if I had read this 15 years ago, shit, dude, I'd have been like, fuck yes, this is cinematic Jesus at work here.
This him.
But yeah, this him. Like, but I don't know, man. I'm definitely still keeping it filed under believe it when I see it. Because
Yeah.
I want to be blown away and pleasantly surprised. I really do. And this would be the story to do it for me.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that was all the movie news that I thought was interesting. Oh, I'm ready for trailers.
I'll throw this in there. The other day I opened Twitter and it's like Jack Black passed away this morning.
Oh God.
And it had his picture and it was like, it looked like a real post. And I panicked. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, this ain't real. You know, and I had to track it down. It was like, oh, it was fake, but it had like, I wrote down the comments. There's all these people RIP, you know, it was like, dude, why would you do that to someone?
I know, right?
That's fucked up.
It's like, funny you bring
him singing Britney Spears song.
It's funny you bring that up because I saw the Britney Spears thing, and then I saw on, I don't know if it was on Reels or if it was on Shorts or whatever, but it was their performance on SNL back in like 98.
Did they play tribute?
No, they were doing
The Wonder Boy.
No, it was one of the songs off of the movie.
Oh, Pick a Destiny. Or...
Yeah, but this was like way before the movie dropped, and I was just like, bro, like he was 28. Jack Black was 28 when that happened, and I was like, what? Yeah, right. It looked like he just walked off the set of fucking Orange County, you know?
Yeah, his fucking ideas.
Yeah.
That's fucking when he's driving that van.
Yeah,
that's so funny. That's like the best part of that movie.
Yeah, we should just take that movie and just cut the Jack Black parts out, and that should just be the
just
movie.
Start the credit. It's like it says the movie name. You see all the Jack Black parts run together, then credits.
That movie made me hate Colin Hanks.
Same.
For a long time.
Until he was on that show. What was that show he was on?
Dexter?
Yeah. I was kind of all right with him then. I was like, all right, he's...
Yeah.
Well, it was like the minute Jack Black wasn't on screen, the movie got really fucking boring.
Real boring.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there like, I hope Jack Black comes back soon.
Yeah. We need him.
Like,
well, I guess it's
there was one set of footprints in the sand, and they were his.
Well, it had to be the same effect of putting Jim Carrey in a movie with another big, equally famous or supposedly famous actor.
He was, remember, Cable Guy had Jack Black in it.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Jim Carrey, this is wild. I saw another thing today where they were interviewing Jeff Daniels, and he was talking about Dumb and Dumber, right?
Was it how much he got paid?
No.
Because it wasn't much.
Well, he wanted to do that. He basically did it for free because of he wanted to prove to everybody that he could be a comedic actor.
Yeah.
And he was like, Ace Ventura had come out. I think The Mask was about to come out. Like he was starring alongside what was going to be the biggest comedic actor in the world.
Yep.
And they brought him in. He said the first scene that they filmed was whenever they were on the bike driving into Aspen. And he's like, I really got to pee, man. And he's like, just let it, Yeah. So they filmed that scene, and then he filmed like the snowball fight and a handful of other scenes. Jim Carrey was gone. He was only there for the bike scene. And then he was like, this is weird. Like, what's happening? They were filming him to see how funny he was by himself, because when Jim Carrey's on screen, he's going to steal the show anyway, And if it didn't work out, they had someone on retainer that they were going to bring in, a comedian. And he was like, nah, I just went in there and did the thing. He said, on Sunday night, they called me back and told me to be there at like 6 a.m. on Monday morning because they were going to be filming some more. The next morning he went in. He said he was sitting in makeup, and Jim Carrey came in, and he was like, "You killed it last week. They really like you. Keep up the good work." And he was like, I almost lost the role. Like if I, put myself out there, and I was like, that's because you don't think of Dumb and Dumber with anybody else, right?
No, dude. And their
Other
chemistry was so good together. Like that's what they were testing to see if they.
Yes.
Like, how do you hold your own with him? Well, Jeff was like, they were both dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
But it was different.
Yes.
It was a different kind of dumb.
And then he talked about some of the sequences where like they would be filming, and the thing that he noticed with Jim Carrey as opposed to a lot of other comedic actors was like he would be like, I got an idea, can we redo that take? And instead of just doing it and surprising you with it, he would pull you to the side and be like, hey, when we go in with the tuxedos on, let's sword fight going in there.
Yeah.
And he goes, then, I'm going to knock your hat off, and then I want you to hit me in the back of the legs. And then that was the take that they ended up,
that was perfect.
Yes. He's like, he would pull me aside and say, okay, here's what we're going to do on the next take. I'm going to do this. I want you to do this. And they just went with it.
Well, that's
and it was
a Living Color improv coming in.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, dude, Jeff Daniels taking a shit is one of the funniest things. He's like, oh, like you've had those shits before where you got to go that bad. It's like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But like Jim Carrey can just walk in a room and he don't even have to talk and he's funny.
Yeah. He just makes it happen. I thought that every time I see Jeff Daniels do an interview, I'm like, this dude is amazing.
Yeah.
Like he's a legitimately smart, amazing person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Making me want to throw that trailer. He's got a movie coming out, and I should toss the trailer in here.
I mean, he's great. That sequence from that show where he's like, America isn't the greatest country in the world.
The political show.
Yeah, dude. And he just wrecks everybody. Yeah. It's like, damn.
Like, I want you to be mad.
Sometimes I watch that scene just to get pumped up. You know what I mean? For no particular reason, just to get my blood boiling about the current political state of our country. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. But I'm ready for these trailers.
It's a lot of Andy Sorkin face fucking you going, be a Democrat, be a Democrat, be a Democrat, be a Democrat. Wait, sorry, wrong podcast.
It is that though. Don't look up. I'm gonna throw it in at the end. All right. I think this is. I'm not sure. I'll just play. Is it playing for everyone?
Yeah.
Grab?
Yeah. For the record, fuck both sides. That wasn't an endorsement of any.
I mean, what you said was accurate, though. I mean, that's. Is that Dave Chappelle? I know it wasn't. He just sounds like him.
Liking the black and white.
Yeah.
This feels too clean.
Yeah, I like art.
Oh, I just realized this is that recreation of Mr. Ripley.
Mm-hmm. The Talented, right?
This is for Dickie.
Do it for Dickie. He looks like he's acting his ass off, though. Good choice.
Yeah.
Is what he good at.
My God. He's crying.
Well, put on the tea, why don't you?
You better put some tea on, then.
This looks so well shot, though.
Looks Ruddy Mysterious.
I hope
what
it
a
stays
fucking great song choice, man.
I hope it stays black and white the whole show.
Yeah, right.
Like, I hope that wasn't just a artistic choice for the trailer.
Yeah, it was noise. I have an ad.
Same.
Yeah, same.
I'll stop it.
Pretender.
Mine's for BMW.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like I'm gonna buy one of those.
What
But,
is
dude,
this
I'm watching
bullshit?
a movie trailer. You gonna throw a BMW ad at me?
Yeah.
Dusk for a Hitman.
In a baggie. Everybody good?
Oh yeah.
3. I don't have to count.
W.
Noise.
In
I have
a
no
world.
idea what it's about.
Montreal 1979. Okay.
I'm kind of already in.
I hate those fucking collars, dude.
Come on, dude. Even when Johnny Depp
Fuck
was
'em.
wearing it.
Fuck them. I
That's
hate
the
them,
fucking.
dude.
That's the blow collar.
Man.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Who's this guy?
that
Got
El
a buried
Camino.
body.
Get the digging.
I mean, we never see 70s hitman movies out of Canada.
They speaking French?
They are.
Oui, oui.
Aljuice.
I thought this was going to be a comedy. It looks. It's shot well.
Mm-hmm.
I
Walking the mile.
I always love the intense cop music. I don't have another word for it.
Well, if I'm going out, old boy, I hope you don't mind speaking to kings.
The only way out is through. Close. I want that Frenchman to play Kingpin in Marvel now.
But he speaks French.
Yeah.
This looks pretty intense.
Yeah.
Je
tense.
m'appelle Peter Parker.
I gotta add. They're playing Cult of Personality. What?
I mean, it makes you want to buy it, don't it?
No, makes me want to listen to Living Color.
Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Farrell plays Russian roulette every day on Man Sport with a bullet called Live.
I've got it paused.
Yeah, I'm good.
You good, Trav?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. California.
Out with the dog, chilling.
I'm in. He's John Wick. He's even doing the Wick walk.
The slight hobble.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I like this cover.
Oh, that'll do, pig.
Bag on the head, probably dead.
Okay, I was thinking it was a period piece, but they didn't have iPads.
Same.
Oh, this is a good cover. Oh, wow.
Calm.
Where's Michael Scott?
That horn needs to calm down.
The name's John Sugar.
The show is a metaphor for cocaine.
Yeah. Before he kills him, he's like, here's some sugar. They.
That horn in the soundtrack sounds like someone's
It's
got a
got
room
Skylar
mic
in
set
it.
up.
I instantly hate her.
Oh yeah, fuck her, dude.
Hate her. Everything I've ever seen her in, I'm like, you fucking.
Well, instead of blow, it's
We had a
sugar.
good thing going. Damn it.
I gotta add, yeah.
Mine's for Shogun.
Same.
Have you seen the memes where they're like, me trying to convince my friends to watch Shogun after I watched the first episode and they're dressed like a samurai?
No.
They're funny, man. They're like me after I watched the first episode and they're like dressed on a horse, wearing the full, we'll go in full regalia. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, this won a lot of, does this mean that it won or that was just, it was there? They played it at a film festival. Oh, okay.
I think they nominate everything.
Because you can get anything played at a film festival, dude, if you pay the money. That's all I'm saying. Oh, the voice.
Voice, yeah.
Don't sell products, sell themselves. It's going a little McConaughey, a little. Oh.
Mm.
That guy looks so familiar.
It looks like
I'll tell you what doesn't pay. It's crime.
He's I remember him from Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. Dude in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, he was in Killing Them Softly. That's what I watched him in recently. He was the heroin addict.
Dude from My Name is Earl. Or a
schooner.
It's not a schooner, yeah.
This guy, he sounds like John Bernthal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude ain't fucking around. He's like, did you see me in True Detective? Shit was good.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him breaking out of his shell. BMW again.
Yeah.
That screen in that back seat is wild.
Yeah, right.
Holy shit.
There's 90,000 you're never gonna get back.
All right, I gotta back it up. Everybody good?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Snow.
The fuck is happening? This time all the film festival movies are coming out. I still don't know what's going on. one of the best films that ever premiered at Sundance? Says who? What movie did you watch? Fargo?
Yeah, I know, right? The wood chipper, dude.
No
I
ads?
haven't seen this trailer, but I've heard some buzz about this. No, I don't have any ads.
I'm good on my end.
He's like, me too. Nerd. I feel like the guy that directed Juno directed this. The fuck? I don't know what to think about that.
It looks interesting,
to say the least. Skip ad.
I'm good.
So I found the loophole. This is a Red Band trailer. I tried to play last week.
Mm-hmm.
They won't let you play Red Band trailers in here. It's just like, people may be underage. It's like, for a fucking trailer, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Let me link my YouTube.
Yeah,
Problem
right.
solved. Everybody good? You good, Trav?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm good.
Mm. Pre 9/11, the good old days. I don't know about these haircuts at 91 though.
Mm.
Okay. You're unbelievable. Get your fuck dogs. This dad's really intense.
Yeah.
Fuck, the guy's in the T-top. That's piss, ain't it? All right.
I mean, I'd open a snack shack, you know?
They're making fuck dogs, dude.
Yeah, for real.
75 cents more to write fuck on it. Marketing genius.
I'm good.
Oh, look what's back.
The Strangers, dude. Me and Marina watched The Strangers not too long ago, and it was a blast from the past, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like back in the day whenever that movie dropped. I remember it was like, you know, it was weird. It was kind of interesting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it.
I have Liv Tyler in it.
Good idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it though.
It also had Dennis from It's Always Sunny in it.
Random.
Yeah. But let's see what this is. Chapter 1. Is this a prequel?
I'm guessing. They're like, because they've made several, right?
No, I think they've only made the one.
Was
right?
it? I'll
Maybe
look.
they made more. They're not knocking on the doors.
They made 2. And there's going to be, this starts chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Post production. I thought there was more than one. That's kind of creepy.
Does the porch light not work?
Does none of the light that's in that room they're in not work? Like,
yeah.
Was it Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Oh, that's blood. That's not ketchup. Too late. Weird song choice.
Is this a freaking Cage the Elephant song?
Kind of sounds like them.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing in a cabin in the woods?
Yeah, right.
So this is the Strangers like hillbilly edition, right? Because
yeah, the other one was in the suburbs, kind of.
Yep. Oh, that's a good answer. Because you're here at a cabin in the woods. Blow her head off.
Yeah, I would have just
Blow it
not even
off.
thought twice. Yeah, that was definitely Cage the Elephant.
This is the Jeff Daniels.
W, dude.
This may be a show. I'm not sure. No ads?
No ads. I'm good. Mhm.
What the fuck? That's like autism level crime recreation kit you got there. I made puppets. That's pretty thick. Always a detective.
La Guarta.
Was that her?
I think so.
Sergeant Lieutenant Batista. Oh. I don't need your protection. I was in Dumb and Dumber. Bet. I think it's a show. Yeah, season. So I think there's already one season, and this is the follow up. Had no idea.
No.
Can't believe there's not an ad on this.
Yeah, right.
The final trailer for the Ghostbusters, March 22nd. Let's go. Oh, tickets go on sale. I watched Backdraft. You got to touch that door before you go in, Mr. Fireman. There will be Ghost. She's new. Oh, shit. Love it. Well, they went bigger and better.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. I haven't had.
Before we get into this final trailer here, people are saying that Dune 2
it's like the best movie ever.
Is better than Empire, the Godfather movies. Like, dude, I'm like, I want to go see it so bad. You know, like I cannot wait to watch this movie.
Yeah, did you see that video on Twitter where the guy, so they're in like the lobby buying popcorn and shit at the theater?
Oh,
and he's riding the electric scooter. Yeah, dude. That is so funny.
Yeah, dude.
That's some promotion.
It's playing that music.
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait to watch that movie.
Well, if you guys end up going, I might have to go too.
Well, it'll be a little bit if I even can.
You'll be in the theater and they're like, "Can you come in?" You're like,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah. Oh. But I can't wait to see it. But Bastar or Bastar.
Alabaster.
Neil Armstrong walking on me face. Oh.
Oh, like just shoot everybody. They're already dying.
Yeah.
Like it's giving me subtitles, but I can't read them. It's in a different language. But I'm picking up what they're putting down. Just we're killing everyone. Okay. Damn. He's rocking that Che hat. She's too pretty to be out there. That why is it echoing? I knew it was communism. I saw the hat. They're like, we're gonna get Cuba in this bitch. There was reverb. That if someone was talking to me in real life and that happened, I'm like, am I tripping? Am I having a stroke?
Yeah, right.
Killing everybody. We're fresh off of Foreign Film February. Great month.
Yeah, everything
was great. I think it's the best one we've had.
Yeah, I agree.
Where they were all good. I mean, there's been some turds. We've got new movies. New shit's come to light. All right, let me lay down the lineup. All right,
turn the next page in the catalog.
We got the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
We got Poor Things.
Yeah.
We got Spaceman, the Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Numbers don't look good for it, but you know, we'll be the judge. We got Fool's Paradise. Remember?
I do.
Probably do.
Yeah.
We got Argyle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know what my pick so far is.
What are we going to? We can lay these out and just get us just set it up.
I'd say since we just spent a little bit of time in 1960, I'd say we jump straight to the future and go to Argyle.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do Argyle and then Poor Things. And then Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. Good. And we got Fool's Paradise and Spaceman.
Let's do Fool's Paradise and then Spaceman.
That's the order I got them in.
Yeah.
All right, we'll add those to the Discord. We'll have them in there. They're already up.
I'm excited about watching Argyle.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that it's out.
Yeah,
it's a quick release. Rotten Tomatoes shit on it.
On Argyle?
Yeah, it was a 33.
Of course.
It doesn't have the name here, so I could. Do you know the little popcorn?
Yeah.
That's a 72.
The audience score?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
Rotten Tomato critics. I can sign up to be a critic for Rotten Tomatoes.
When you go in there, it's like ABC was like, this movie was weird. Yeah. It's Washington Post. CNN left a review. They actually left a decent one.
I mean, when you look at Fool's Paradise, it's got an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes and a Metacritic score of 27% and an IMDb score of 4.7.
What's the Google? With a
49%.
That's low. That is low.
They might not have got it.
Well, we'll see. We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, guys.
All right. Well, checks on the mail.
The flag is raised.